Look, we've been looking for this place for months. My men were in that chopper when it got hit!
Welcome back, friends. Here is a list of 5 popular movies of Carl Weathers before his death on the 1st of February 2024, at the age of 76 years, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. At number 5, The Bermuda Depths, 1978.
Honey, this is the long-lost drummer.
Hello, Magnus. Good to meet you.
In this film, Carl Weathers acted as Eric, a longtime friend of a young guy, called Magnus Dens, portrayed by Lee McCloskey, who lost his parents when he was still little. Eric was a scientist working for Burl Ives as Paulus to earn extra cash for his masters, and they were on a mission to discover unknown creatures that lived below the sea. On the island where they were based, there was a myth of the devil at the Bermuda Triangle, and it was also believed that this devil had a beautiful daughter called Jenny Hanover, portrayed by Connie Sellecca. As far as the story from the locals was, on the island, Jenny was once human, a beautiful woman who thought no man was worth her beauty until one day when her heart was stolen by a rich young guy from the mainland. And as the guy was going to introduce her to his parents, the ship they were on got trapped in the Bermuda Triangle. Jenny prayed to the devil to preserve her, and the condition was to forever be his, which was why she was always in the sea. With the help of Magnus, Eric managed to track down a very giant sea tortoise he was obsessed with, and because he was a scientist who didn't believe in superstitions, he failed to believe it when Magnus told him that he knew this tortoise from when it was little, just like the rest still didn't believe Magnus when he told them that he was meeting with Jenny Hanover, the myth. In the end, this tortoise was too big for the boat they were on, and it drowned it, claiming Eric's life. At number 4, Happy Gilmore, 1996.
How would I do that?
You win the Open tomorrow, you're automatically on the Pro Tour.
In this film, there was a young man, Adam Sandler, as Happy Gilmore, who wanted to be a hockey player all his life, and disappointingly, things were not going his way until one day when his grandmother's house was taken by the IRS, after failing to pay taxes for 10 years. This was when he found out that he had good golf hits, after he made a bet with the guys who were carrying the things from grandmother's house. After making like $60 on the spot, he went to a golf training ground to make more money to rescue his grandmother's house, and this was when Carl Weathers as Chubbs, a once promising golfer before his hand was beaten by an alligator, spotted his long-range hits. Chubbs saw this as his comeback, so he immediately approached Gilmore and convinced him to join a golf tour, after he heard that there was money to be won. But first, he had to go through the qualifying competitions, which he won with the guidance of Chubbs. Chubbs first wanted to train him and turn him into a pro for free, which would take like 6 months. But Happy wanted money on the go, since he only had 90 days to save the grandmother's house. Long story short, because of Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin, a golfer frightened by Happy's skills and love from the fans, who turned it into beef and bought his grandmother's house on the day of the auction. His intention was to ask Happy leave the tournament if he wanted the house back, thanks to Julie Bowen as Virginia Vennett, responsible for golf public relations, who told him that they could win both the tournament and also get the house back. Happy made a bet with McGavin, and because the stakes were high, Happy was forced to look for Chubbs to train him how to become a pro golfer. At number 3, Action Jackson, 1988.
Easy, kid.
You're Action Jackson.
In this action crime thriller, Carl Weathers acted as Detective Jericho Jackson, also known as Action Jackson, who was demoted from a level of lieutenant to sergeant after he tried to take down the son of a very rich, powerful, influential man called Craig T. Nelson as Peter Delaplane. Nevertheless, 2 years later, Jackson still went after Delaplane after he found out that he was responsible for the death of his friend Tunney from way back, which gave him the motivation to take down his entire criminal organization, thus getting back his lieutenant position in the Detroit Police Department. At number 2, Predator, 1987. In this action horror adventure, Carl Weathers as Dylan was the CIA guy who recommended Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch and his team for a rescue mission, because they were the best, only for Dutch to find out that Dylan had set him up and his team to do CIA's dirty work, because he knew that if it was not a rescue mission, Dutch would not have accepted. Unfortunately, they happened to land in a predator zone which killed all of them apart from Dutch, who managed to defeat it after learning its weaknesses. At number 1, Rocky, 1976.
Bleeding inside, champ. Oh, I'm gonna stop the fight. Hey, you
You
understand?
ain't stopping nothing, man. You ain't stopping nothing.
In this sports drama, Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed was a boxing heavyweight champion, and there was a fight he was supposed to have on the 1st of January with Mackley Green, but he got news from Green's doctors that he had suffered a severely cracked third metacarpal in his left hand, meaning he wasn't able to fight on the 1st. Because Apollo had already spent almost $1 million in publicity, he wanted the fight to happen, but there was no contender at the moment, so he suggested giving a local underdog fighter in Philadelphia an opportunity to fight with him on national television, hoping it would be a good image for him in the eyes of the public. But the mistake he did was to choose Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion in his 30s, who thought he was a failure in life. Despite the fact that Apollo thought the show was to just entertain people, Rocky saw it as an opportunity to prove himself to the world, and he became a pain in the stomach for Apollo in the ring for 15 rounds, whipping him like nobody had ever did. May the soul for Carl Weathers rest in peace, and until next time, God bless you all.